We finished up yesterday's hay cutting. You want to tell them how many bales we had?
305.
305.
And I would say if we would have been able to put chicken litter on the rest that was too wet when we put it on, we would have had 50 more bales. So I feel confident we would have had 350, 355 bales. Those are 53-inch bales, and I would guesstimate 45 acres of grass.
So we'll check through all the comments, see who got closest. We'll get with you and get you a hat.
I still don't have a hat. One of the camos?
Oh, yeah. Well.
And you're giving one away?
Horses are getting a little
They don't
wild.
have one either.
You should have guessed in the video that's not up yet.
Could, yeah. Is it Price is Right rules?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, y'all come with us. We're gonna get all this hay wrapped up using our Anderson wrapper. Hope everything goes smoothly and we have a good day. Let's wrap some hay.
Landon, you need baby powder?
No.
No.
What, Daddy?
That's the trick right there. What, baby?
Smells good too.
Yeah.
We got more hay here. So as we change out our rolls, this piece here, we always put baby powder on it, and it just seems to help make everything roll smoother.
I think he said on this, I think it's just a tractor and some hay left. So when we get started, I'll ride with him.
Okay.
Good hay up now. What?
So if you missed our last hay video, I was doing this by myself in a hurry. And as I was manually rolling one of these, I had my finger about like that, and one of these rollers smashed it, had to go get stitches. It's getting better though, but a little nervous in here now. A lot more cautious, which is not a bad thing. If you get stuff on these rollers, it doesn't take much to tear that plastic as it's rolling, and then every time it tears, you have to get off the tractor, stop what you're doing, and then go back and replace it. So that's the purpose of that baby powder, to help keep it nice and clean, keep it rolling smoothly, because if those things start tearing every couple bales, it can lead for a long day. All right, we got the wrap ready to go. See a little tear in that one over there. Hopefully it'll be good though. But we got some extra help coming out to join us.
That looks cool.
You ever wrapped hay before? No. You want to learn today?
Yes, sir.
All right. Hey, why don't you tell them real quick about your YouTube channel.
So my YouTube channel is called The Cousins Playhouse, and it's very fun to watch. Go subscribe and hit the bell, and make sure to like.
We'll get it fired back up, do some more wrapping. So if one of the rolls of plastic breaks, it'll trip this little sensor here and it'll basically stop wrapping for you to come fix it. You can't override it here. Say you only had 3 rolls, but we're trying to wrap with all 4 right now. Another neat little feature I've been using that's really been helping is there's on each side, that one's covered up because we're not using it, but it's a bale sensor, so you can kind of set your depth or your gauge of how far away you are from this row. So there's a sensor right there. So the thing's basically driving itself. I can steer it with the remote, but right now it's on auto steer, and you can see it's keeping that distance from the bales. If the row I'm leaning up against, if it moves in some, that sensor will just move the wrapper that far away. So those sorts of things are really nice when they're all working, and especially when you're out here wrapping hay by yourself. Right now Eric's gone to get another tractor, but we're moving along, not far from having the second row done, but we still got a ways to go. Once we get 2 bales wrapped, then we start to set it down. We'll swap this to drive when this hay bale's close to coming off. hay's dwindling on down. Eric's down there on our 1, 2, 3, 4th row. We're mostly wrapping about 50 bales in a row. Ideally, it'd be nice if you could have a long, you know, even if you did 100 in a row or more, because when things are clicking, everything's working, you can wrap hay fast, but then when you have to get down to the end of a row and turn the wrapper around and then retie all your plastic and then get started again, that slows you down. But pretty much for right now, with everything working right, one person can be out here doing this job. I think it's year 2 with this wrapper, so we haven't had it a long time. A lot of people will ask, you know, how do you like your wrapper? It's a pretty good investment, but it was a good investment. It was the right time for us to finally get us a wrapper. We can do a lot more haylage. Wrapping this hay, leaving it outside has really helped our cattle operation. I can't say many bad things about this wrapper. All in all, it's a very nice wrapper. We did the wrapper that's, well, this is the Anderson IFX 720. It has 4 rolls. We always used a 2 roll in the past, and 4 sounds excessive, but you can wrap twice as many rolls of hay before you have to stop and change out your plastic. And when you get out here in July and it's like 95 degrees and you're trying to wrap some hay and you're having to change out 4 rolls of plastic, it's aggravating. That's just a little minor thing. We went with the larger gas tank, and I recommend that. That's another one of those things, you know, when things are clicking and going well, and then you got to stop and get off the tractor and fill it back up with gas. You know, just things that slow you down. We've never used the lights on it, but they are a nice feature, you know, if you're gonna wrap hay at night. If y'all have any questions about our wrapper, let me know. We'll be glad to answer it. All in all, we like it a lot. This right here, so that's how you set up your remote. And from that remote, you can steer it from the tractor, which is a nice feature. So the remote's on the tractor right now with Eric. It has 2 arrows. You can turn those 2 wheels on the front there and just help drive it. Really nice. You can also turn it off if you needed to for some reason. But the nicest feature of all is going to be that auto steer. As you can see, neither one of us are having to steer it. It has a sensor on each side, so depending on how you're wrapping your hay, you can swap back and forth. It's pretty much setting our spacing, and it's maintaining it. So if you're looking at getting a wrapper, I highly recommend that, especially if you're possibly gonna be wrapping hay by yourself. That's when it really saves you time. It's always nice when you have all your hay close by and convenient, because Eric pretty much has a bale ready when the wrapper's ready. So it comes back to here, and he's pretty much got another bale going on. Just helps increase your efficiency. So if you're anything like me, you like to know how things work. So I'm gonna show y'all exactly how things work on this wrapper. So this piece right here, when Eric sets the bale down, it triggers this to start pushing the bale. So there it goes. When it gets to right here, it's gonna trip the hydraulics to start working. So this is causing everything to spin. As this piece pushes in, it's gonna kick this lever. That makes it quit wrapping, sends it back, and it'll do it all again. So this lever here engages this here, which makes it start wrapping. So whoever designed this did a pretty good job. There's a lot of little moving parts and things too, because you got to have something to push the hay, but then you don't want the hay pushing on your bales in here before you start actually wrapping. So maybe I'm not boring y'all with how it works, but I think it's pretty cool. So another neat little thing about this, I've got it set to override, because if one roll runs out, then it'll trip it. But I've got that off because we want to get all of them run out of plastic and then change them all out at the same time, use up all the plastic. So I've changed the speed of the wrap to keep up, to make sure that each hay bale is getting enough wrap on it. Do here. So usually we run around like a 5 with all 4 wraps. That's got it. Like I was saying, usually we run around a 5, but I turned it up. That speeds up the wrapper. Basically, so by turning it up, it speeds up the wrapping, which puts close to the same amount as if we had 4 on there. And I know what you're probably thinking, like, why not just run it? It doesn't actually make the process faster, it just puts more plastic out. So if you ran it like that on all 4, you would be putting out a lot more plastic, but still wrapping at the same pace, if that makes sense. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. You're getting this process figured out pretty good.
How about, let's take one quick second before we do this. I haven't gotten a good job on lining up this hay yet.
I'm lining it up, it was a fantastic job.
Thank you.
Yeah, it works really good. Pitching it at that angle.
So what I always go for, we didn't know how many bales we're gonna have when we started out, but we kind of know our general setup. So started out putting hay down here, but I like to put it at this little angle here, so that way as you back up more, you can just back the tractor up a little bit, come in here at an angle, and then come to the next row and the next row. If you put it in a straight line, to where like if I set it off here, then you've got hay going all the way down in the row, and it gets complicated. But felt like it was a pretty...
That's one of those little things that makes a big difference.
So we're not having to handle the hay more than necessary. Because if you get over here and you got hay in the way and then you got to move it before you can even start wrapping, it just turns into a process. I'm gonna quit rambling, change out some plastic.
Fell in a while back, that's what I'm saying, that's what you get. All right?
Yeah, I just hit myself.
Mighty son, you and this. How did we not have that?
He was gonna... We're getting there, slowly but surely. Last one coming in.
Finally. It's the one we've been looking for.
It's a lot of hay.
This is one of those machines that a lot of times if you're in the market for something new, it's one of those machines that I haven't found where we added an option that I don't like. And a lot of times if you buy a new piece of equipment, you're wondering, well, is this option worth it? Is this option worth it? On this wrapper, I would say yes to all. But one thing, if you're looking at a little older machine, it makes a tremendous difference. And I don't know if Ben mentioned this, but being able to raise that front end, so our front end has an independent, or not, it has a set of cylinders on the front tires, so you can raise that front end up. One of my friends has an older model, and that front end is stationary, so if you cross a ditch, it'll bottom out very easily. So this one will definitely go on more of a rugged terrain. To give you, for instance, too, if you're trying to decide whether you can justify this or talk your wife into it, we do about 1,000 rolls a year, maybe a little less, maybe more. I would say once you get to the point of 500 plus, you probably have an argument. Now, you may not have an argument for one loaded all the way, but it has allowed us to up our ryegrass game and that protein and the level, and we're not worried about rain as much anymore. If we've got a couple of days, 3 days, we can get in there and out, and it's just a game changer. So take all those points back to your wife. Maybe it'll help you do a PowerPoint, an essay. Maybe you'll get it done. You're welcome.
Let's finish her up.
I would suggest a little better throttle system if possible.
What in the world?
So we're celebrating all the hard work.
Yep.
Not celebrating.
Who did all the hard work?
Hey, are y'all going to get us ice cream or what?
N-O.
Yeah. Say what do you want us to bring
Which
back?
flavor do y'all want?
All of
We'll
them.
bring all the poop one.
Ooh. So we probably had one of our smoothest start to finish hay cuttings to wrappings that we've ever had. Had a great yield on this field, and all in all, things just went well, things just clicked. We baled everything in one day, got it mostly hauled in one day, finished getting it wrapped up today. And it was a nice change of pace after our first hay cutting that we had, where we just seemed to run into issues and problems over and over. I'm gonna leave you with a Bible verse for this week. This one feels fitting after our last hay cutting through this hay cutting. It's gonna be James chapter 1, verse 2 through 4. Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. Thanks for watching our video. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Y'all come back and see what we get into next week.